Good afternoon, I'm Connor Bonfilio.
Connor, say my name, say my name.
With me, we have Sam Greening.
We have a fantastic lineup for you in our second to last show of the year. On the bright side, Beyonce dropped an album along with a Netflix doc.
That's right, Sam. I've been bumping Queen Bee all morning. All the single ladies, put your hands up. Am I right, Sam?
No thanks, Connor. I'm crazy in love.
Oh, the feels. While Sam's heart is bursting for her boo, my heart's been bursting for BuffSports. Let's get into what happened this past week. The 22nd ranked women's lacrosse team fell 13-12 in overtime to the number 18 Stanford Cardinal. It was a back and forth game with both sides trading goals before the game was sent to overtime thanks to a Miranda Stinson goal with under a minute remaining. Sadly, the Cardinal would score the game-winning goal in overtime. Senior Samantha Nemiroff extended her school record point scoring streak to 34 games and recorded a career-high 4 assists.
The Buffs women's lacrosse team took on the Cal Bears on Sunday for their senior night. The team was able to send their seniors off in style with a 15-6 win. All 7 seniors were honored before the game, and all 7 started. Senior Samantha Nemiroff extended her school record point scoring streak to 34 games. Senior Miranda Stinson led the team with 4 goals, recording her 50th of the season, which is just the 6th time in CU history a Buff has reached that mark in a single season. Stinson also reached 50 goals last season, scoring 58.
The women's lacrosse team is currently 7-2 in Pac-12 play and are currently ranked 23rd in the AP poll. They finished their season against the Oregon Ducks tonight at 8 o'clock. Senior Miranda Stinson led the Pac-12 in goals with 51 and will look to cap off her final regular season game with a victory. The Ducks are 3-13 this season, including a 1-8 record in conference play. The Buffs are 9-0 against Oregon, so their chances to win are relatively high. After Oregon, the Buffs will return to Eugene for the Pac-12 tournament to face the other 5 lacrosse schools in the conference. Colorado had their second football scrimmage today.
Head coach Mel Tucker said he was happy with the new team and their toughness today. Take a look.
More intensity, really good back and forth with the offense and the defense, good execution on special teams, and I thought we put some money in the bank today.
Tucker also said the execution was better today than it was in the first scrimmage. Steven Montez was 15 of 19 with 169 yards and a touchdown.
Wide receiver Tony Brown was another great contributor for Colorado today. 4 catches for 58 yards.
This might be a stacked wide receiver group this year, Sam. On a more serious note, Coach Mel Tucker also addressed a New York Times article about Colorado's football program, though he didn't mention it by name.
Yeah, there was a story in the Times by Michael Powell where he interviewed one of the regents, Linda Shoemaker, who said college football is unsafe for the players because of the number of former players diagnosed with CTE.
Tucker said Colorado's coaching staff does everything it can to make sure the players practice and play in a safe environment, putting player safety first and foremost.
The men's basketball team added a sharpshooter to the squad. Maddox Daniels has signed a national letter of intent with the Buffs. Daniels is a 6'6", 200-pound guard from Florida Southwestern State College. In 2 years with the Buccaneers, he led them to a 60-6 record and won two NJCAA tournament quarterfinal appearances. Last year, Daniels earned all Suncoast first team honors, averaging 14 points per game, while shooting 43% from deep. Colorado shot 32% from downtown this season, the second worst during Tad Boyle's tenure. Daniels could fill a void in the Buffalo system that's lacking triples. Welcome to the Buff Nation, Maddox.
We talk a lot of numbers on the show. Here's one more for you. For this week's trivia question, we ask, when is the birthday of Maddox Daniels? We'll have the answer for you at the end of the show.
After the break, we'll have an update on track and field and the Women's Golf Championship.
Wave your hands to the side, put it in the air for the resident chef in the studio for the season finale of Gourmet Vinay. Stay tuned.
We are the University of Colorado sailing team, and still the only college sailing team in Colorado. Last year, we traveled to 5 regattas and hosted our own using a fleet we bought with community support.
This year, we're raising money to purchase a safety boat that will take care of our sailors and lead effective practices to get them in tip-top shape to kickstart at regattas.
Weather changes happen quickly in Colorado, so we need to be prepared in case anyone ends up in the water. A safety boat with a proper engine will help make sure we can get people and boats to safety in the event of a capsize.
Safety is our team's top priority, and this boat will help us prepare for worst-case scenarios. This boat will put us on track for being the safest, the fastest, and the most effective team in our conference.
Donate today to help us reach our $4,000 goal and get CU Sailing motivated. Share to everyone you know to spread the word. Your help will be on our way to be a safer and more successful program.
Welcome to Gourmet, Vinay. We are in the hot take kitchen.
Our favorite place. The women's basketball team had their awards banquet, so we thought, why don't we have an awards banquet of our own in our favorite place ever to be?
Yeah, we have a lot of awards to give out, so let's get right into it.
First up, we have Best Dish with Mr. Steven Montez.
Yeah, Steven Montez to LaVisca Chenault in that Nebraska game. Pass to end the game, to win the game for the Buffaloes. Take a look at it. Great highlight.
And next up, we have the Taco the Town. The Taco the Town, get it?
Yeah, the taco.
Mr. Evan Batty.
Evan Batty, every time the Buffs were on TV this year, they would talk about his story from last year. So he was academically ineligible, redshirting last year, and then he had the stroke, but then he came and put together the season that he had this season. And it was a great moment in that Norfolk State NIT game when he was waiting for a free throw line and he got this huge ovation at the CU Events Center.
I mean, he's definitely a fan favorite. We love him.
He is.
Next up, we have Tough Cookie with Miss Kennedy Leonard.
Kennedy Leonard had a devastating injury at the beginning of the season, came back, played in the last few games, played in the Pac-12 tournament, and hopefully, fingers crossed, next year she's playing in the WNBA.
Next up, the award for Toast goes to CSU football.
Oh, they are toast next season in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Look, Mel Tucker coming in, he's playing SEC football, not Pac-12 anymore. They're going to eat tough, they're going to drink tough, they're going to talk tough, they're going to play tough, they're going to study tough, they're going to read tough, they're going to do everything tough.
Everything tough, and they are toast for sure. Next up, we have saltiest opponent, Andy Enfield.
Oh, Andy Enfield. Oh, Andy Enfield. When USC came to Colorado, CU beat them, and then after the game, Andy Enfield said the Buffs are a bunch of floppers. Floppers.
Who says that?
At least they're not cheaters. Hey, USC, when it rains, it pours. How many FBI investigations is that now?
Next up is my favorite award, the Sweetheart.
Oh.
And it goes to Rick George and Tad, but also Mel.
Yeah, Rick George. Just look at the way he looks at Mel Tucker. Oh my goodness. And then this big bear hug he gives Tad Boyle.
We love them, and we just love Rick George.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm kind of forgetting, there was one more that we wanted to give, but what about Danny Jones and Joe Klecker?
Yeah, I don't really have an award for them. They are just great.
And that's our out cue. Brought to you by Gourmet Vinay.
Back to you.
The track and field team competed across California this week. They are competing in the Mount SAC Relays, Brian Clay Invitational, Beach Invitational, and the Cardinal Classic. The competition began Wednesday at the Brian Clay Invitational for the first day of the heptathlon and the decathlon. The 10,000-meter runners also competed on Wednesday. Paxton Smith, Alex Horndecker, and Lindsay Koch were the only Buffs running in the 10K this week. Thursday concluded the multi-event athletes with the 5,000 heats in the Ryan Clay Invitational.
On Wednesday, the women's golf team played its best round of the Pac-12 championship, but it wasn't enough to move up as the Buffaloes finished 11th. The USC Trojans won the Pac-12 championship, firing a 1 under 851. The Buffs ended the tournament with a 71 over 923. Even though they finished last place, Colorado had 3 players finish in the top 50. Christy Hodgkins placed 26th, Malik Boreda placed 41st, and Jillian Vance placed 49th. What is next? What is next?
After the break, we have a Buff banner with Colin.
And the final season matches for my 2 favorite sports.
What are they?
You must not know about me. You must not know about me. You'll have to wait until after the break.
Deserves a second look. Michael taking off, the patented tongue comes out. Just in front of that line. Look at this, the double clutch, the reach. Pass in left wing, look behind him, wide open, right wing, up top, open for 3, fires. Really good basketball, Mark. Unselfish, smart basketball. Open for 3, fires, nothing but nylon from downtown. Good ball move by Colorado.
Hi, I'm Colin Bailey with Buff Banner. This week, us over here at BuffSports Live are having mixed feelings watching the NBA playoffs. CU grad Derek White is looking like a McDonald's employee because he's cooking nuggets in the first round. Derek White played with the Buffs in the 2016-2017 season before becoming the 29th overall pick to the San Antonio Spurs in the 2017 NBA draft. White has taken over as the Spurs starting point guard this season after DeJounte Murray tore his ACL early in the season. Murray was in line to be the Spurs starting point guard this season, following Spurs legend Tony Parker's departure from the team in free agency to the Charlotte Hornets. But with Murray's injury and no Tony Parker to lead the offense, a door was opened for Derek White, and boy, has he taken an opportunity to prove himself. During the regular season, Murray averaged 10 points, 4 assists, and 3.7 rebounds, while shooting an efficient 48% from the field. Now in the first round of the NBA playoffs, the second-seeded Nuggets are matched up with White's 7th-seeded Spurs, and White is currently leading an upset bid. The Spurs lead the series 2-1 after stellar performances from White, including a 36-point outing last night in Texas, which led the Spurs to a 118-108 win in front of the home Spurs crowd. White led the offense with 36 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, while shooting an incredible 71.4% from the field. Over the series so far, White is averaging 23 points per game, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. The forever Buff is making us proud with his efforts on the court, but at the same time making us sweat because his performance is looking too much for Denver to handle. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, which continues on Saturday in San Antonio for Game 4, before returning to Denver's Pepsi Center on April 23rd for Game 5. Make sure to cheer on your Nuggets and CU alum Derek White. For Buff Banner, I'm Colin Bailey. Back to you.
The women's tennis team fell to number 3 ranked 4-0 on Sunday. The Buffs celebrated Senior Day for Senior Annabelle Andronopoulos. CU finished the home season with a 4-3 home record, while Stanford clinched a share of the Pac-12 regular season title with a win. The lone win for the Buffaloes was the number 50 ranked double pair in Andronopoulos and Monica Melinen, taking down the 15th ranked Cardinal pair in Kimberly Yee and Carolyn Lampel. The singles matches didn't go CU's way as Stanford took every set en route to the sweep in the loss.
CU had 3 student athletes from the women's tennis team named to the Intercollegiate Tennis Association rankings. Annabelle Andronopoulos and Monica Molinen jumped from number 50 in the nation in doubles to 20th after a pair of top 30 upsets over the weekend. The ranking is the highest doubles ranking in school history during competition. Sarah Nayar returned to the rankings after upsetting another top 40 individual Friday against Cal. She is currently ranked 100th in the singles rankings. Nayar also joins exclusive company as she is the first player ranked 100 or better in school history. In April, since Miluski was ranked 59th in the nation in 2010. Congrats to our ranked Buffs.
The women's tennis team concludes their season on the road in Salt Lake City against Utah tomorrow at 11 a.m. The 10 and 12 Buffs are looking to lock in the 7th position in the Pac-12 championships. The Utes are currently 9th with CU at 8th. This match is more of a preview to the Pac-12 championships, as most scenarios have the two teams matched up against one another in the first round on Wednesday. Utah started strong but has only been able to score a point against Pac-12 opponent since the opening weekend twice. Colorado will turn to 100th ranked player Sarah Nair for points.
The men's lacrosse team returned from Utah on Monday with 2 conference wins. On Friday, the Buffs faced conference goal leader Brigham Young University. BYU entered the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead, where Colorado scored 4 points for the win. The next opponent was Utah Valley on Sunday, a team with a 10-1 record. The Valley was ahead by 1 point after the first quarter, but quickly lost their lead. Colorado went on to score 5 goals in each quarter, ending the match with a 20-11 victory for the Buffs. Colorado's record improves to 9-2.
Colorado State hosts the Rocky Mountain Showdown of men's lacrosse tomorrow in Fort Collins on the 6th year anniversary of the last time Colorado lost to CSU. The teams have played 3 of the same opponents within the last month. Colorado State is currently on a 5-game losing streak with a 3-8 record, while the Buffs are on the 5-game win streak with a win against CSU. Colorado will enter their conference playoffs having defeated all other participants during season play.
I've been thinking about the trivia question answer, and I hope you have too.
We're about to go on break, but don't go anywhere because after,
we'll have everything you need and more written all over this space.
Ooh, we be freaky deaky. Stick around.
Record in Mike and Q talent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic up on 2. All right, take 1. And fade camera 2. Take 3. Ready, red. Roll red. Take cam 1. Take red. Take it. Come on, roll red. Let's go. All right.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just calling the show.
There's no show.
I know finals week is coming up, but stop your studying because I already have your week planned out. The track and field team will spread across the West Coast this Saturday to conclude their trip with 3 different meets in California. They will be competing in the Mount SAC Relays, Beach Invitational, and Cardinal Classic. You can tune in at 12:30 Mountain Time to watch. If you want to get yourself out of the house on a 70-degree Saturday, come support the soccer team as they play the University of Nebraska. The game starts at noon at the Printup Fields. The Pac-12 Men's Golf Championships start on Monday as the Buffaloes travel to Oregon to compete at the Eugene Club. The 4-day tournament will broadcast on day 3, so April 24th on the Pac-12 Network at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. The Pac-12 Tennis Championships are set for April 24th through the 27th in OJ, California. The men's quarterfinals will be broadcast live beginning at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Thursday the 25th on Pac-12 Bay Area. You can also watch the men's semifinals on Friday the 26th on the Pac-12 Network starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm Kelly Laxton and you're watching Rapid Fire.
This week's trivia question was, when is the birthday of Maddox Daniels? And the answer, October 12th, 1997. But most interesting of all, Daniels has a twin brother, Mason Daniels, who played with him in junior college. Maybe Mason will be the next recruit for the Buffs?
This week's tweet of the week comes from a man who has made over 332,000 tweets. His name is Brian Schmidt from Aurora, Colorado. Derek White might have the fastest acceleration from I have never heard this man's name to I despise this man and his entire existence that I have ever seen. #Nuggets. No. We've reached the end of our show.
Thanks for tuning in to BuffSports Live, and we hope you have a great weekend.
We'll see you here next week for the final show
Of
the year.